Good evening, gladiators. We who are about to play salute you. Well, hey everyone, how you doing? This weekend, I went to a medieval fair, or in America, I guess you call them Renaissance fairs, and it got me thinking about a classic game from 1986, when many of you probably were not alive, and I was just a young gladiator myself. And that game is Defender of the Crown from 1986. Now, this is a pretty cool game, and I'm going to play it on the Amiga emulator. So it's actually a bit different to the version I played as a kid, which was the PC version. I've never actually played the Amiga version, although I have seen many screenshots of it, and I'm keen to check it out. So let's get stuck in, shall we? Defender of the Crown. Loading up. Got my coffee here, of course. For it is late, the hour is late, and battle dawns. That makes no sense at all. All right, here we go. So, Defender of the Crown is a game from Cinemaware, and they were known for making, exactly as the name sounds, very cinematic games. Certainly for the time, they were really advanced. They really showed off what the Amiga was capable of. They wanted their games to sort of feel like movies, and so you see the credits at the beginning of the game like this, much like the classic movies of old, and you can see here the cast, the Saxons and the Normans and the ladies. There's a little intro just talking about the backstory. The king has died, and spoiler alert, you take over the kingdom and as one of these Saxon lords, and you actually have to fight off the Norman hordes who are trying to take over England. So there's 4 different lords. My good buddy Jeff Wicks always went with Geoffrey Longsword. I quite like Wilfred the Wild and Wilfred of Ivanhoe. Actually, I didn't like Wilfred the Wild because jousting was a useless skill in the game. I felt like it was too hard, even if your jousting was strong. They've all got advantages and disadvantages. We're going to go with Wilfred of Ivanhoe for now. Start off in Sherwood Forest. Here you visit your old friend Robin of Locksley. Many years have passed since you served with Robin and his men, but disastrous news curtails the reunion. Yeah, basically, Robin in his tights, tells us all about the Normans are trying to take over the crown, and he says he will aid us 3 times if we need it. So he's on our side. Okay, so here we are. Here's our overland map of Britain. You have some orders now. Looking at this map, fans who are it's late. People who are fans of Swords and Sandals Crusader, which was one of my games, might find this kind of familiar, because I actually was very inspired by this game when I was making Swords and Sandals Crusader with the different maps and their borders. Now you different have options. You can hold a tournament, you can seek a conquest, go raiding, build an army, or read the map. Let's quickly read the map and have a look at a territory. Have a look at our home territory right there. This is Nottingham, owned by us. It brings in 2 gold a month, and we have no vassals, or basically no citizens there. And we can choose one of the terrains we want to take over. So basically every month you try to take over one of these provinces and build up your kingdom. So we're going to build our army, and we're going to build a couple of soldiers. We've got 7 gold. We don't have much to spend. Have enough gold for that. Okay, we'll keep getting some more. Let's build it on soldiers. All right, and we're going to seek conquest. Build the campaign army. So very similar. Swords and Sandals Crusade. Swords and Crandles. My gosh, this coffee obviously isn't working. But Swords and Sandals Crusader actually had the same system as this, in that you build your campaign army and send them off. We're going to keep 16 soldiers at home and 6 in the campaign army. All right, and we'll send them forth. All right, we're going to conquer this one in the middle. It seems quite strategic. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with this one here because it seems like a safer bet, less challenged. Now, all the different lords. There's a tournament. Brian de Bois Gilbert announces a tournament action. Knights, nobles, and peasants gather to witness the dangerous spectacle. All right, cool. The tournament begins. So, look at these graphics for the day, were very impressive. Certainly, games like systems like IBM had the King's Quest series, which was later got quite impressive, but at this point was not particularly graphically as advanced as this amazing pixel art. And the Macs, well, they were terrible. They had a couple of checkers and chess and nothing like this. You know, just like today, Macs are well behind when it comes to gaming. So I went to this medieval fair on the weekend, and they had real life jousting, and it was very impressive. It was incredible to see these men and one woman wearing full plate armor and jousting with full wooden lances like this, not balsa wood, full on wood, heavy plate mail, wearing the helmets, and they had the plumes and everything, and they danced in front of the crowd, and did their courtly signals and everything. And when they met in the tilts, you could feel the ground shake and the lances go like this. It was really cool. So we're going to do a bit of jousting. We're going to joust against the host of the tournament, Brian de Bois Gilbert. Why not? He has no spare land, so we'll just joust for fame. All right, that's fine. There he is. Here's us. So you basically got to aim at their shield. It's quite tough. I think we got him. Did we get him? It's quite tough. Hard to know. It's thinking. A little, how do we go? Oh, okay, well, we survived that tilt. Let's tilt again. We had some luck. I should have tilted him someone else, trying to get some land out of it. In the PC version of this, you could actually aim at the horse and kill the horse, and you wouldn't be invited to the tournament. Oh, he got me that time, so... Oh, what? Thus ends your day in the list. You were not the champion, but your deeds will be remembered. That sucks. We lost one tilt and got kicked out. I used to hate getting invited to tournaments in the PC version because it used to sort of get in the way. And so I would aim at the horse. It's quite awful. And you would be blacklisted from ever being invited to tournaments again. So here we are. So we now own this territory here. There's no music, strangely enough. I read that the Amiga version was graphically the best, but they actually ran out of time to put in the features they wanted. And so the different ports had more features than this. Let's go raiding. Yeah, let's raid this castle. You can raid to try and get gold and things like that for your kingdom. Beautiful pixel art. Now, this pixel art would look good in an indie game today. Maybe not the characters, but that background. It's a funny little mini game here. I'm never quite sure what you're supposed to do. It doesn't really give you much of an indication. So we have to pay some of our gold. That was one of the things I remember about these Cinemaware games, is they looked really special, but the gameplay, certainly as far as the arcade sequences and so on, were not that great. They had made a few other games like The Rocketeer, and I think there was a Three Stooges game. I can't be sure if it was made by them, but I remember them looking great and playing like not so good, like watching a movie, really. Let us seek conquest again. We're going to send forth the campaign army to here. We might have a battle. Lord Philip Mavoison's campaign army is in that territory. So we... Oh gosh, we've only got 2 in our army. We've got 37. Our army was slaughtered. Oh, that's interesting. So I remember in the PC version that actually had little pictures of knights fighting each other, and I put that into Sword and Sandals Crusader, and then of course made that very tactical. So this is quite a bare bones version, and they have some beautiful graphics for the certain scenes, but other than that, it's very simplistic, really. More simple than I remember. I'd love to get a catapult. Have we got enough money? Not yet, because I want to go and besiege a castle and show you what that's like. Let's wait another turn. Should we hold another tournament? Yeah, let's do that. We've got a tournament which will go. If you've never been to a medieval fair or Renaissance fair, I would highly recommend them. They're a great day out. Myself, my wife, and my baby boy went along with a great friend John Stayskeller and his wife and little daughter, and they dressed up, and heaps of people were there, and armor, and you know what? I wish I'd worn the Gladiator helmet. It would have been fun. People might have gone, "Hey, that's the game's Gladiator." Nah, they wouldn't have done that. And that's also a little bit of an anachronism. Ain't no Spartans in the time of the medieval days. But just a really fun day. Just, there's archery and trebuchets and minstrels playing with, flutes and lutes and that kind of stuff. And falcons, trained falconers. Just a great experience. Let's Jeffrey Longsword, my old buddy Jeff. Let's joust for fame, because I don't think I'm going to win. I never seem to win these. It's hard to get across actually how good this pixel art looked for the time, for 1986. Oh, damn it. It's hard to know why you win or you lose, but we didn't win that day. We need 15 gold so we can get a catapult, so we can... treasure is 10. So it costs us money, unfortunately, to host that tournament. So we would like to... 10 gold. I want to call upon Robin Hood. How about that? How do you do that again? Read map. We've got a Nottingham. Sherwood Forest. That's weird. Maybe, you know what? I reckon that feature isn't even in this version. It's in the PC version. That's no good. All right. Okay. Let us... let's have one more turn. Build army. Well, I'll buy one soldier. Done. I guess you have to do something. You have to seek a conquest. Send forth... No one in the... Okay, build this. This is funny. This looks better, but it's actually not as fun as the PC version, weirdly enough. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it right now, and we will actually fire up the PC version and check that out, because I think that might be a bit more fun. All right. All right, and we're back, and I'm going to try the PC version because I think it actually has more features than the Amiga version, but it'll be cool to check out the comparison of the two. The PC version is actually the one I remember from when I was a young tyke. All right, here we go. So, as you can see, a lot less colors. You've got 16 colors instead, which is... known as EGA back in the day, or Enhanced Graphics Adapter, somehow enhanced. But when I first had a computer, it had 4 colors. It was called CGA, and it was monochrome, so you had 4 shades of yellow. There's an old fart story for you, isn't it? For you young whippersnappers. But then there's people much older than me that, didn't even have that. They had, printouts and stuff like that. All right, so we were Wilfred of Ivanhoe. Let's go with him again. Okay. So yeah, similar story. The art is certainly well inferior, and the music is what's known as PC speaker, which was just a single note, much like a mobile phone used to be. They didn't have the lovely sound chips that the Amigas had. But in this version, Robin pledges his aid 3 times if you'll seek to reunite the Dark Kingdom. So it was a feature that Cinemaware added later on. Okay. Yeah. So slightly different interface, a little bit more more options here as well. You can pass, which we wanted to do before. We will buy our home army. Okay, and we will... It's interesting, when I made Sword and Sandals Crusader, I had a really fond memory of this, but there's a bunch of things that I thought this game was missing, and that's what I basically added into Crusader. There were, of course, remakes and spin-offs of this game. I never played any of them, and I don't think they were particularly successful. Cinemaware folded some years after this, and they were never really heard of again. I'm not sure who owns the rights to these games now, but, you know, it would be fun to do a Swords and Sandals Defender of the Crown, like basically Crusader 2 or something, but, you know, actually use the Defender of the Crown brand. That would be cool, huh? Let us try a battle, actually. So we're going to send this army, and I want to see if actually my memory serves me and there is a battle to be had. Oh, okay. Oh, we're friends. See, that's it. You can actually travel through your fellow knights' lands. The blue team are all on the same side, and the red team are against you. So you can actually travel all around this map as long as you're on side. So we can see Robin, and we're gonna riding to Sherwood Forest. You seek the aid of Robin in the coming adventure. I read it too slow, but he's gonna basically aid us in the next battle. So what we're gonna do is we'll send our army into this red territory. Roger Falconbridge, in the field of combat echoes of Saxon Bridge. Yeah, so here we have different tactics. We can try and outflank them, stand and fight. We actually outnumbered them, so we're going to ferocious attack. And you can see the troop numbers go down. It's similar to the other one, but it feels like it has a little bit more at stake watching them fight, you know what I mean? I can't remember, once you have knights and so on, they will appear here, and archers, if there are archers, maybe they won't. Let's try and bombard them. We got him anyway. Great. So we've taken that territory, and that now becomes ours. And he'll probably seek revenge at some point. But he's actually down to his last castle. So if I have enough money, which I do, I'm going to besiege his castle. So buy a home army. Let's grab ourselves a catapult. Don't have enough for a knight, but we can get some more soldiers. And that was our turn. Hopefully he doesn't attack us. These stats here actually will change as the game goes along. If you do poorly, I think they will reflect that. And I can't remember, but I think the portraits change to make them looking all sad and so on, which, you know, is a nice touch. And, you know, Cinemaware was famous for putting those little details in, even though it is actually quite a simple game, really. Before we raid the castle, let's hold a tournament. I want to show you the difference between the tournaments on the PC. I'm going to do something awful. I'm going to try and slay the horse, but I think this is keyboard only in this version. The Amiga version was mouse operated. PC games back in the day weren't really big on the mouse. That was only really came in back in the Windows era. This was a DOS game. Go for fame, and because we're going to try and take Roger Falconbridge's castle, we will actually battle him first. There he is now with his He-Man style haircut. Alright, expectant hush falls over the gallery as the marshal gives the signal and the gallant knights spur their horses into action. Begin when ready. Whoa, that's so fast. Did you even see that? A near miss. Alright, another tilt. It's ridiculous. On my old PC, my goddess. It was much slower. It was like a slideshow. Oh, we've been besieged. Oh, we've been betrayed by Wulfric. That's outrageous. Bastardry. He was supposed to be an ally. Trying to outflank him. It's going to be close. We've fought valiantly, but we've lost the day. That's tough. The last battle. Oh, so we never even got to do a siege. So, yeah. We basically joined Robin and his band of merry men. The end. What a shame. So there you go. Well, that's about it for Defender of the Crown. Simple game. A game from my childhood. I did play a lot. And certainly the inspiration for Sword and Sandals Crusader. a game that I do hope to revisit in the coming years sometime. I do love medieval fairs. I gotta say, it's the first one I've ever been to, but I love all that stuff, and I would love to go again. So check out your local area for medieval fairs everywhere. All right, everyone. Have a brilliant weekend, and bye for now.